Everyone, imagine this scenario. A daughter you were forced to give up for adoption due to extreme poverty returns to you after 40 years, having grown up beautifully and successfully. If that daughter, whom you missed so terribly, stood before you and called out, "Mum," what would you do? Naturally, you would run out barefoot, hug her, and sob. But here, there is a heartless mother who threw salt at her daughter, who came to find her after 40 years, locked the gate, and even reported her to the police as a trespasser. The neighbours clicked their tongues, saying she lived alone so long she became venomous, even as she watched her daughter being dragged away by the police car amidst wailing sirens. The mother never opened the door. Was she really a cold-blooded woman with no tears, or was she hiding a massive secret that we do not know? If you learn the truth of this case today, you will likely not be able to stop your flowing tears. The protagonist of this incident, Mrs. Kim, a woman in her 70s, made a living by trimming bean sprouts in a market alley. She had a daughter she sent for adoption to the US 40 years ago because she couldn't overcome the financial hardships after her husband passed away. It was the sorrow of her life. Then one day, a luxury sedan stopped in front of Mrs. Kim's shack. A sophisticated middle-aged woman stepped out and introduced herself as Miju, the daughter, who was adopted 40 years ago. She had adoption records, childhood photos, and even a piece of the baby undershirt Mrs. Kim had given her daughter as a last gift. There was no doubt she was the biological daughter. The neighbours congratulated her, saying, "Mrs. Kim is finally being blessed." But Mrs. Kim's expression turned pale, as if she had seen a ghost, and she began to scream. "I have no child! A scammer has entered my house! Get out!" The daughter knelt and pleaded. "Mum, it's me, Miju. I didn't come to resent you. I just wanted to see you, to show you I'm living well." But Mrs. Kim was firm. She came out with a broom to chase her daughter away and eventually pressed the emergency call button for the police. Even the responding officer suggested, "Mom, she seems to be your daughter. Why don't you at least talk to her?" But Mrs. Kim screamed, "That woman is not my daughter. My daughter is dead." Eventually, the daughter had to turn away, shedding tears. People who watched this scene whispered that she must have dementia or had gone senile with age. But the real twist happened that night when everyone was asleep. After chasing her daughter away, Mrs. Kim locked her room door and pulled out an old wooden chest from deep inside her wardrobe. Inside were not bundles of money, but dozens of old notebooks and faded photographs. Surprisingly, those photos were not of the daughter who visited today. They were photos documenting the growth process of a completely different woman, one who looked exactly like Mrs. Kim. Elementary school entrance ceremony, university graduation, and even a wedding scene. All the photos were taken secretly from a distance, and in the notebooks, a diary written every single day. For 40 years was recorded. "Today, my Miju went to college. I secretly went to the school gate and only watched her back. You grew up beautifully. Thank you." The truth was this. The woman who visited today was a professional con artist who obtained information through an adoption broker. She approached Mrs. Kim, targeting her inheritance, having heard false rumours that the old market lady was secretly rich. But Mrs. Kim knew instantly that she was a fake. Why? Because Mrs. Kim had never sent her daughter for adoption abroad. 40 years ago, being too poor, she had secretly left her newborn daughter in front of a wealthy family's gate. And for the past 40 years, she had been hovering around that house, watching her daughter grow like a shadow, watching her daughter grow up happily without a wrinkle, under good parents. She hid all her life, fearing that if the fact she was the mother was revealed, it would become a stain on her daughter's life. The face of her real daughter was engraved in her bones, so she was not fooled by the fake daughter's acting. The real reason Mrs. Kim called the police was not to punish the scammer. She wanted to end the situation quickly, fearing that if this commotion grew, it might reach her real daughter's ears, and her existence might be revealed to the world. After the scammer left, she burned all the photos and diaries of her daughter she had collected for 40 years. My daughter Miju is better off not knowing a mum like me. She is happy only if she never knows. Looking at her smiling daughter in the burning photos, Mrs. Kim cried with a choking sound. It was the repentance of a sinner who abandoned her child, and simultaneously, the final sacrifice of a mother to protect her child. True love is not about possessing, but about willingly disappearing for that person's happiness. Mrs. Kim ended her life in a lonely death without ever appearing before her daughter. The police officers, who found out the truth too late, held a funeral for her, who had no mourners, with teary eyes. If this tragic yet great maternal love touched your heart today, please hold the hands of your parents beside you. A parent's love sometimes flows most hotly in the lowest places we cannot see. If you want more touching stories and truths of life, please subscribe and like.